Welcome! This video contains optional light exercise prompts. As with all exercise activities, ensure that healthcare professionals have cleared the members of your group to participate. Pack your boots, big belt buckle, and cowboy hats, everyone. We're headed to Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to Sights and Sounds of Nashville, Tennessee. Brought to you by Activity Connection. Nashville is located in the southeastern area of the United States in the state of Tennessee. In addition to being the capital of Tennessee, Nashville hosts more than 100 recording studios and dozens of honky-tonk bars that fill the air with live music. Some might even say that Nashville is to musicians what Hollywood is to actors. Mary Stewart describes the special significance of this city for musicians in her song, Sundown in Nashville. It's a quaint, old mystical city where legends and idols have stood. It's a place where dreams come to harbor, a country boy's Hollywood. With music being such an integral part of the soul and sound of the city, it is known as both the country music capital of the world and Music City. We'll get to experience this firsthand later in the video. Interestingly, it also earned the nickname of Athens of the South because it was the center for education as well as the arts, much like the ancient city of Athens, Greece. This begins to explain why the only full-scale replica of the Greek Parthenon exists in the middle of Tennessee. Here's an overview of the history of this building. Back in 1896, Tennessee was celebrating its 100th year of statehood, and Athens of the South was the most popular nickname for the town at that time. Thus, no better time to build a replica of the Parthenon than the 6-month celebratory event called the Tennessee Centennial Exposition, hosted in Nashville in 1897. As you can see from this bird's eye view of the expo grounds, the Parthenon replica was one of almost 100 elaborate buildings on the fairgrounds. These buildings were quite diverse and included a Nebraska sod house, a Cuban village, a reproduction of the Alhambra from Spain, and a Chinese village. Visitors also enjoyed promenades, reflecting pools, and an area devoted to games, rides, and other thrills. Other popular exhibits featured the latest technology and inventions. The University of Tennessee presented the X-ray, and Thomas Edison introduced Nashville to motion pictures with his Electric Scenic Theater, which featured several brief films. This early incarnation of the cinema was known as Edison's Mirage. Do you remember your first visit to a movie theater or a drive-in theater? Tell us about this experience. What is one of your favorite movies of all time? Of all the attractions, the Parthenon became the symbol of the Centennial. It remains a focal point of Centennial Park to this day. The original construction was intended to be a temporary exhibit and was built primarily using plaster. Once it fell into disrepair, it was replaced with the permanent structure we see today, made of concrete and steel. How many columns do you think are on the outside of this building? Answer: 62 columns. Within this building is an art museum where the main attraction is a replica of the Athena Parthenon statue. Like the Parthenon, the original statue is also located in Athens, Greece. Nashville's Athena stands almost 42 feet, 13 meters tall, making it the largest piece of indoor sculpture in the Western world. Nearby, Lake Watauga is another popular attraction in Centennial Park. Though it is smaller compared to its Centennial Exposition days, there is a large amount of bird activity happening right before our eyes. Now for an identification challenge. Each species will be introduced first by its call, then a photograph. Call out your guess as soon as it comes to mind. The answer and a brief profile of each bird will follow. Do you recognize the call of this common bird? Canada goose. The Canada goose is one of the best-known birds throughout the United States and Canada. Typically, these birds spend their summer in northern areas and fly south for the winter. During migration, they form an impressive V formation in the sky. Group discussion question. Can you think of 2 benefits of flying in a V formation? Scientists have determined that the V-shaped formation that geese use when migrating serves 2 important purposes. First, it conserves their energy. Each bird flies slightly above the bird in front of it, which reduces the wind resistance and allows them to glide more. The birds take turns being in the front, falling back when they get tired. This allows the geese to fly for a long time before they must stop for rest. The second benefit to the V formation is that it is easy to keep track of every bird in the group. Flying in formation can assist with communication and coordination. Fighter pilots often use this formation for the same reason. Before we continue bird watching, here's a dash of humor. What language do geese speak? Answer: Portuguese. Listen up and try to identify this bird call. Mallard duck. Do you know the term for a male duck? Answer: drake. The male mallard duck, called a drake, has a glossy, green-colored head, a white ring around its neck, and a chestnut-brown breast. Female mallards have mottled brown feathers that look plain and dull compared to the male's showy feathers. The mallard duck's outer feathers are waterproof, thanks to oil that's secreted from a gland near the tail. As a result, water droplets form on but do not permeate the feathers. Can you think of an expression that relates to this piece of information? It can be used to describe when a potentially hurtful remark or incident does not have an effect on someone. Answer: like water off a duck's back. Example: the negative performance review rolled off the actor like water off a duck's back. Pause video and provide other examples of this expression in use. Lastly, have you ever noticed how baby ducklings commonly follow their mother in an orderly fashion? What expression originates from this piece of information? It has come to mean being well prepared or organized for something that is going to happen. Answer: have your ducks in a row. Example: they should have their ducks in a row so they are ready to start the job at a moment's notice. Pause video and provide other examples of this expression in use. What bird creates this call? American coot. Coots are small water birds, typically found in ponds, lakes, and marshes. They are tough and adaptable, with strong legs that allow them to walk, run, and swim quickly. Due to their small wings, though, they are not particularly strong flyers. As you see here, they also commonly dive underwater and propel with their large feet. Do you recognize the call of this tall bird? Great blue heron. Great blue herons are widespread across North America in both saltwater and freshwater habitats. As you see here, they forage mostly by standing still, waiting for fish to swim near. At other times, they may walk very slowly in shallow water while hunting. When prey is near, they strike with a rapid thrust of their bill. Their diet primarily consists of fish, but may also include frogs, salamanders, turtles, snakes, insects, rodents, and small birds. How many feet, meters wide is the average wingspan of a great blue heron? Answer: 6 feet, 1.8 meters. Optional light exercise activity. Spread your arms as wide as you can. Is your wingspan smaller or larger than the great blue heron? Those are just a few examples of the birds we encountered. Raise your hand if you're interested in finding out more about birds in your area. Perhaps you could learn to identify them by their calls or feather patterns. Before we continue downtown, enjoy a front row seat to some impressive aerial bird activity. And that's not all. In a moment, watch the great blue heron take flight. If this heron flew 3 miles, 4.8 kilometers northeast, it would arrive at another waterfront area in Nashville that visitors can't miss. This is called Waterfront Park, and to our left is the Cumberland River. Let's get moving. While sitting or standing, step in place as we explore this area. On the opposite side of the river is a stadium that hosts football games and large concerts, including the Country Music Awards, which comes to town each June. This 4-day event draws over 150,000 music fans of all ages from all 50 states and across the world. Thankfully, we don't have to wait until June to enjoy some live country music. On any given day in Nashville, a multitude of music clubs and honky-tonk bars create a lively atmosphere downtown. We are approaching Lower Broadway and 2nd Avenue, which is the heart of downtown. Here we find the Hard Rock Cafe and an energetic outdoor street concert. Optional light exercise. Clap along with the music with your hands at waist height or raised high above your head.
Let's see them hands in the air. Come on, come on.
Now, while sitting or standing, bend your arms at your elbows so that touch your shoulders. Straighten and repeat with the beat of the song. Next stop, Music City Walk of Fame Park, which honors significant contributors to Nashville's musical heritage. Inductees have been commemorated with a large star embedded in the sidewalk. Shout out the name of the following inductees if you recognize them. Reba McEntire, Elvis Presley, Garth Brooks, Johnny Cash, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton. Just across the way is the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. There are a few key architectural features that are worth noting. The building's front windows resemble piano key. When viewed from the air, the building forms a massive bass clef, and the tower on top of the rotunda is a replica of the distinctive diamond-shaped WSM radio tower, which is still in operation south of Nashville. This is one of the world's largest museums and research centers dedicated to the preservation of American music. A large wall of gold and platinum records greets us near the entrance. Since its humble beginning in 1964, the museum has amassed one of the world's most extensive musical collections of records, books, periodicals, sheet music and songbooks, photographs, business documents, and other materials. The museum expanded to include costumes, historic cars, musical instruments, and other artifacts as well. Up next is a trip down memory lane to a candy store that sells fun and nostalgic varieties of candy. Discussion questions. What are some of your favorite types of candy? Are there any seasonal candies that you enjoy at a certain time of year or associate with a particular event or holiday? Now for a crash course on some local cuisine. Don't leave town without considering these 4 options. First, hot chicken. This name describes both the temperature and flavor. In its typical preparation, chicken is marinated and then floured, fried, and finally sauced using a paste. This paste has 2 key ingredients, lard and cayenne pepper, which are mixed together 3 parts pepper to 1 part lard, and heated until a thick sauce is formed. Additional ingredients, such as sugar, garlic, and additional hot sauce may be included as well. Finally, it is served atop slices of white bread with pickle chips. A variation of this dish, which has grown in popularity over the years, is hot fish. This is typically a breaded and fried whiting or catfish fillet, prepared using a similar cayenne paste or using a cayenne powder blend, generously sprinkled over the fillet. And let's not forget the pickle chips. If you want to try the mouth-watering barbecue of Nashville, Tennessee, a special Nashville barbecue sauce is a must. This sauce is distinctive because of its unique sweet and savory taste, with a hint of spice and tang. In addition, the sauce also has a smokiness, that complements any type of barbecue meat. Here is a sample recipe to give you an idea of the complex flavors involved. Optional light exercise prompt. As each ingredient is listed, reach as high as you can with alternating hands to simulate reaching for the item on a very high shelf. Start by combining brown sugar, ketchup, lemon juice, molasses, liquid smoke, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, mustard, and onion powder in a medium saucepan. Whisk slowly and allow the dry and wet ingredients to incorporate thoroughly. Simmer over medium heat to thicken gradually. Lastly, we'll learn about Meat and Three. This is a casual, cafeteria-style restaurant that serves a rotating menu of meats, grains, and vegetables. The menu can change daily, and lunch lines are often long but worth the wait. Many Meat and Threes are family-owned and operated. As the name indicates, you'll be getting 1 meat and 3 sides. Last but not least, we will learn about the Grand Ole Opry. For nearly 30 years, many locals and visitors alike have enjoyed live performances in the Ryman Auditorium, located in downtown Nashville. In 1974, the show transitioned to the larger, custom-built home that is located about 9 miles, 14 kilometers from downtown Nashville. We'll enjoy the golden light of the setting sun as we explore the Grand Ole Opry House at Opryland and learn more about the history and impact of this radio program. The Grand Ole Opry is the world's longest-running live radio show and features a weekly country music concert in Nashville. George D. Hay founded this event on November 28, 1925, originally called WSM Barn Dance. 2 years later, the name the Grand Ole Opry was coined. Thanks to the massive 50,000-watt WSM antenna, the broadcast reached homes and businesses across most of North America. Have you ever listened to the Grand Ole Opry via radio or in person? Tell us what you recall. What day of the week does this program air? Answer: Saturday. Can you guess how old Dolly Parton was when she gave her first performance at the Grand Ole Opry? Answer: 13 years old. Dolly Parton performed George Jones's song, "You Gotta Be My Baby," for her first radio performance. Dolly recalls seeing the classic WSM microphone stand and being in awe standing on the stage. As I heard the band play my introduction, I lifted my head and looked towards the lights. I smiled at the people in the balcony and then let her rip. She received 3 encores for her performance that night. Although Dolly Parton is an East Tennessee gal, she is a country music legend and a Nashville institution. We'll conclude this video with an excerpt from her song, Down on Music Row, which speaks to the promise of scoring a record deal in Nashville. I could feel a change a-comin', I left my hometown a-hummin', with my old guitar a-strummin' songs that I had wrote. I was on my way to Nashville. We hope you enjoyed the sights and sounds of this extraordinary city. Stay tuned for 5 review questions. Nashville is home to a replica of which famous building? A. Colosseum in Rome, Italy. B. Parthenon in Athens, Greece. C. Pantheon in Rome, Italy. Answer: B. Parthenon in Athens, Greece. Which is the name of a tall bird we saw earlier in this video, often found standing still or walking very slowly in shallow water to forage for food? A. Sandhill crane, B. Great egret, C. Great blue heron. Answer: C. Great blue heron. Which culinary creation is not attributed to Nashville, Tennessee? A. Dry barbecue rub, B. Hot fish, C. Hot chicken. Answer: A. Dry barbecue rub. Nashville is not famous for dry barbecue rubs, but rather a sweet and savory barbecue sauce with a hint of spice and tang. How old was Dolly Parton during her first Grand Ole Opry performance? A. 12, B. 13, C. 15. Answer: B. 13. What was the original name of the Grand Ole Opry radio show? A. Ryman Radio Show, B. WSM Barn Dance, C. Saturday Country Music Concert. Answer: B. WSM Barn Dance. This concludes the Nashville Interactive video. Thank you for joining us, and see you again soon.